Hello and welcome back to Kelly Loves K-Pop. Today we're doing a reward reading for a lovely donator from the Ko-fi page who wants to look into an ideal reading for Seungkwan from 17 and kind of wants to know how he views love and relationships. If I'm not mistaken, he's been the very flirty one in my past readings. So we'll see if his energy is still the same. People grow, people change. It's been a while since I did a 17 reading on him. So I think the last time was just personality readings I did. I'll make sure I link those up there. But yeah, so let's go ahead and do this ideal partner reading and kind of focus on maybe how he views. I do always kind of do ideal partner readings more on how the idol looks. I try not to talk about the partner themselves since they're not a celebrity and they're not, out in public. So I try to respect their privacy, but the idol themselves, especially idols market their relationship or flirty nature. So I don't think anybody minds us having a little fun with this kind of thing. And also just know, tarot readings are for entertainment purposes only. It's just for fun, guys, I'm not affiliated, nor do I know any of these idols, and we're just here to see what the cards say. And what else was I gonna say? Oh yeah, so make sure you subscribe, make sure you do all the YouTube things if you want to keep up with my channel. I am in the middle of uploading probably 3 or 4 more 2023 forecast readings for groups. As I sit right now, I have Espa about to be uploaded, and I think today I'm recording one for Hypen, so keep an eye out for those. Espa will probably be up by the time I upload this one, so. Okay. If you've seen my ideal partner readings before, then you know that I'm going to do a layered oracle reading and see what we get. Okay. Seungkwan. Need one more. I feel like we haven't done an ideal partner reading for a while. Because all the end of the year stuff, I've been focusing on that. Okay, got a couple more. That should be enough cards. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, so now I'll do the second layer. Make sure I shuffle these up real good. Oops. You got a jumper. Okay, the 12th house. Progressions. Vista. Series. We can get some more. Okay. Actually, these two both came out, so I'm going to keep them together. Feels like they meant to be both. You want it to come out. One more. I don't know. Now you know. You do. Okay. Okay. So let's see. Again, I read these cards as they fall. Sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative. So I just want everyone to know if you don't want to hear anything negative, possibly, about your idol, then now's the time to try a different video. But if you don't mind taking some good and bad and understanding that we are people and we all have good and bad in us, it just depends how much you're working on at the moment, then stick around. So we have addict in the shadow. Might be some issues with honesty here. And maybe there's like a little bit of an addictive pattern. Again, I kind of felt like he had a little bit of like Playboy energy before. Introspection in the 12th house. So I think he knows there's aspect of himself that he wants to work on, that he's not happy with, that he's just fallen into what's easy. And probably there might be some, what's the word, like, not codependency, but he might be fear of being alone. So I think he likes to have people around. He likes to have partners. Maybe because he's scared to do too much introspection, but I think he's going to get there. I think that's just a growing pain for him. And I think being in the line of work that he's in, it makes it really easy for him to just kind of always have someone new to catch his attention. And he just needs to be probably careful of that. When we talk about addiction, I don't like to even make too many guesses, because that's something that's a personal fight. If that's the case, could just mean it in a more light sense that he deals with habitual things. But yeah, so he may have some issues there where he kind of doesn't like being alone. And that may affect his relationships, or it may affect the quantity of his relationships. It's kind of the feeling I get with him. And then we have the priest in the light and progressions. So spiritual commitments, channeling spiritual energy. So he does have a spiritual side. He does feel like he's on some kind of spiritual journey. So, and I think he might be like finding, like, quote unquote, the right one, the one that will open him up to more of a spiritual journey. It doesn't necessarily mean a church going person or highly religious, but just someone who makes him feel complete in his own personal spiritual journey. Someone who kind of maybe grounds him, or makes him, like, again, look deeper in himself, find more meaning in his life. And that will feel freeing to him personally. So yeah, I think he needs someone who's willing to go on that journey with him, because he knows it's not going to be an easy one. And someone who looks at him deeply, looks at the spirit, like the spirit of him within, and not just who he is on the outside. I think that's going to be a hard thing for him, is finding someone who also at the same time sees him as himself and not his facade, his public persona. So he's kind of invested a lot in that, and I think maybe it turns around to bite him in the end. So he needs to be careful. And I think he's working on it. I think he's at a place, it feels like he's at a place where maybe he's getting ready to, quote unquote, grow up a little bit, or become more mature in those aspects. But it's a journey. He's not getting there tomorrow. We have Vesta and Eternal Child. So he has a youthfulness about him, and he also likes to retain his youthfulness. He likes experiencing new things, and like experiencing those things with somebody else who has like a youthful approach to life. And her, this is kind of, again, it's a bit of a spiritual healing, and maybe he does someone who has like a strong inner child, like he does. I I get the feeling he has an unhealed inner child. So maybe he needs someone who has a bit of the healed inner child to help him on that journey, but has that fresh and youthful outlook on things and isn't too jaded. In their own practices. So let's see. Have the bully in the shadow. Yeah, so I feel like, again, there's some unhealed things, and I think, excuse me, he has a way of keeping people away, and it could be that he's a little verbally sharp. This is like using kind of mean tactics as a way of keeping people away. So if anybody gets too close, he may have a natural reflex or a natural coping mechanism where he feels he needs to protect himself if anybody gets too close. And that, a lot of that can kind of, this can be the underlying factor for a lot of that. So he just may turn cold, may turn mean after his relationships get to a certain point where he starts to feel vulnerable. So seriousness nurture. So again, he needs to nurture that inner child and heal his inner child. He needs someone who will also help him do that. And I think in turn, he needs to learn that as well. In turn, you know, when he does feel vulnerable, he needs to learn to invite that person in. Because again, he's acting out of like self-preservation, self-defense. I don't know if he had an issue in his past, but I know a lot of, you know, in any realm of like entertainment, people that join it too young tend to have problems trusting people because a lot of people abuse children. And I don't mean SA or things like that. I just mean like, they don't let children speak for themselves. They automatically think they know what's best for children, and they make them do a bunch of things kids don't want to do, or things like that. Maybe he just feels like he never got to be a kid. And now when he wants to show that side to people, he feels like they're going to look down on it, like adults probably always have. Whenever he was a kid and wanted to be a kid, they treated him like that wasn't appropriate. So maybe he feels like whenever he wants to show that, he's going to get the same reaction out of people. So he needs to heal that. He needs someone that's willing to work with him to heal that. So let's see. This one seemed like it had a bunch of cards pop out for it. We have Liberator in the shadow. And yeah, this sounds like he has a lot of rules in his relationships. I mean, and understandable, there's some aspect of being a celebrity where he needs to have some rules, but I feel like maybe he might go overboard. Again, for self-preservation, he likes to be in control of that. So we have Sagittarius and Scorpio, which is expand and investigate. So again, it's telling that he either needs a partner that's willing to explore what he thinks these roles are doing for him and come up with healthy ones. Also, he himself needs to work through these things. I kind of love Scorpio and Sagittarius for this because it is about the internal depths you need to explore, the very base of your feelings. And then Sagittarius is expanding and moving on to new places. So yeah, he's probably been acting out of self-preservation and a bit of unhealed trauma that he needs to work through. And he's going to need someone who does that. And again, the Sagittarius reminds me of this eternal child, about going out and experiencing things and like healing the inner child and letting them know like it's okay, like you're free to be. I think he has probably a natural like childlike sense of humor that he uses in his idol life, but I feel like maybe he feels like when he uses it in his real life, people tend to take advantage or try to, or, you know. So I think when he's in his everyday life, he kind of can come off as a little maybe toxic masculinity sometimes, for lack of a better word. So yeah, he's going to need to heal some of that and not feel like he needs constant control of the situation all the time. But I think that might come down to him just finding people he truly trusts. At his level of success, that's probably hard for him. So yeah, he needs to spend some time healing and finding someone who, again, helps him along that journey. That's not going to judge him. So we have Poet in the Light. Makes sense for who he is. Soul insights and symbolic language. So he definitely expresses himself through his music, through his words. And, you know, we have dignified strength. This is his strength. Again, a lot of times people who are like playboys are also very charismatic. They know the right things to say to get people to do what they want. So not only in a partner, they probably also need to compete on that level. I feel like he needs someone who is almost a healed version of him. Probably someone who has gone through the path and knows what they're doing. Again, this is ideal partner, so it's also probably why he's looking for someone like that. He wants to know how to do it. He wants someone that can help him, who's been there, who understands. You know, could be he wants someone who's also another celebrity, but I think just mostly he wants someone who either appreciates what he does or has similar interests as him. And appreciates that side of him. Doesn't want him to lose this for fear of, you know, jealousy and, you know, insecurity. You know, he is like, this is what I do. I don't want to stop being a celebrity, being a musician because I've made bad choices in the past, you know? Like he wants someone who still likes it about him, but, you know, respects him as an individual person, which is hard. It's really, really hard. So then we have Gambler in the Light. So it's willingness to follow intuition even when others doubt you. And Pallas Athena, think. Yeah, I just think overall he wants someone who does trust him, even if he's made bad mistakes in the past. And as well, he needs to, well, I think he does trust himself, honestly. Like I said, he may be acting out of past issues, but I think he knows he will find his way through it. He'll do what he needs to do. Again, I feel like his energy now feels like he is on a road to maturing. It could be, I don't know how old he is, if he's getting into military age. I think that's a common thread along guys that are finally hitting military age. I hear a lot of them talk about it's time to like stop being a child. It's time to start being a man. So, sorry, I saw a little bit of smoke coming off my candle there. My melting wax. I'm like, is that? But it's also been cold, so it could just be steam. Just making sure we're not starting any fires over here. But yeah, so I think he's willing to put in the work and the time and the, you know, kind of restructuring of his processes and his thoughts and the way he looks at himself. He just knows it's going to be a long time and someone who's willing to take the risk given his past history kind of deal. Again, this is all alleged. This is just the vibes I get and have gotten in the past from him that I'm working off of. So please, you know, don't think I think anything bad of him or I'm trying to imply anything. This is what I see in the cards. This is the vibe I get when I look at pictures of him and stuff. So that's just what I think. But if you feel otherwise or you feel like there's proof otherwise, please feel free to discuss anything in the comments. I'm always excited to hear what you guys think. I just, you know, as long as we're both having respect for each other, that's the only rule. So yeah, I think he's ready to work on himself and he wants to work on himself, but he wants someone who kind of either has been there or someone who's going to understand the journey he's going through, which makes sense. And I think as far as how he feels about relationships and stuff, I don't know if this says he's ready to calm down yet, but I do think he wants to put in the work to be the right kind of person for a partner in the future. It doesn't feel like he's there yet. He's starting the work. I kind of feel like a lot of people they will date a lot of people, and then they'll finally be like ready to settle down, and that's when like they just basically pick their person because they understand it's work. It's not like the perfect person comes along. That's kind of the vibe I'm feeling for him too. Like, he's had his fun. He understands that it may be leading to like bad habits and problems for him down the line. So now he's looking to finally like get his house in order for the right person to come along. But I do think he has ideas of the kind of person that he wants, or the type of person he wants to invite in his life and how he wants to live his life. I think he's very strong in how he wants to live his life, which is probably why he has so many rules and control issues. Like, he likes a very specific freedom in his life, and he's going to want someone who respects that and respects him, but also works through the hard stuff with him, which makes sense. I mean, I think we all kind of want that. So hopefully you enjoyed this reading of Seungkwan from 17 and his ideal partner, and maybe how he feels about relationships right now. And yes, please, if you enjoyed it, leave me a tip. You can press a little thanks button on the bottom of the bar right here, the bottom of the video down here. And otherwise, yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care. I love you. Be kind to each other. All right.